Hello.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Radke Show. I'm Melissa Radke. This is David Radke, and we are coming to you live on YouTube and Facebook. But it wasn't without hassle. I will tell you that. It was a morning and a half.
It was the morning. How many of y'all love when you not only have one, but two cars in the shop?
That's right, America.
It's very convenient. It's very easy to get around, and it's very inexpensive.
Did you, by the way, I don't think you did. I don't think you told them about driving home the other day when a part of our car fell off in the road.
It was very
Now, granted, I just pretty much told you what happened, but tell them.
I was driving home the other day, and all of a sudden, I kind of felt the wheel getting a little bit tight. And then all of a sudden, a thing popped up on the dash. It said, alternator's not charging properly. About then, I was coming to stop at a stop sign, and the wheel got very tight, and I started smelling rubber burning. And all of a sudden, I heard a ding. And I look out, and there's this big metal thing rolling out from underneath the car. So anyway, I pulled the car over. I went back and got the thing, and it was the harmonic balancer, basically the big wheel on the front of the engine that all the different pulleys and all of
it was the thing holding the car together. Can I just tell y'all what a God thing it was that he was driving at that time and not me? Had I been driving, here's what I would have heard. What did you hit? What did you drive over? Did you hit a curb? Did you run over something? Did you run over an animal in the road and you're just not telling me? Did your car roll over a body? That's the kind of things that he would have thrown at me. But when he does it, this is what I say. Are you okay? How much is this going to cost? And honestly, we did think it was going to cost about.
We were afraid it was going to be extremely
$4,000.
And it's bad, but it's not extremely bad.
And then we had to take another car into the shop today just to kind of get something checked out. Not a big deal, but we are late this morning, but we are here.
What's the saying? Better late than never.
But the thing is, Dave, we pull this up to go live, and there's already a million of them on here talking to each other.
Yeah, I knew we were going to be late, so I scheduled when I thought about we'd be on. And so they had a place to go and congregate while they're waiting on us.
Okay, are you in Facebook as well today?
I believe so.
I don't think you are, because every single person on here is YouTube. You need to go on and put on Facebook as well.
I could have swore I did.
I knew he didn't.
I did though.
You did not. Oh gosh, yes you did. Okay, yes he did.
Come on, Facebookers.
Let us know if you're watching on Facebook right now. Because people are like, what happened? It seems like they've been on. Do they know? And someone else said, we've been on for a while. Lynn Wilson goes, do y'all know we just started? And what happened seems like they've been on. What does that mean?
We just started, yes. But I don't know if it's the case on Facebook, but I know on YouTube, when you schedule a time, it kind of goes live, or you're able to make comments even before we're on there. So people have been in the comments for a while, kind of talking back and forth. But yes, we do have, we are live on Facebook as well. So if this is one of your first times to run across us, maybe because we're a little bit late, Melissa and I do the Radke Show every Monday through Thursday, around 8:30-ish normally. Mm-hmm. We do that on YouTube all the time. And the last few weeks, we've been doing it on Facebook. But this might be the last week for Facebook.
Well, I said that last week, and then you said no, one more week.
I know, it's just so hard because we want people to congregate on YouTube. There's just some benefits and the features of being over there.
I know.
But we have so many friends on Facebook that we love to get to see them as well too. So.
Now, I will say this. One of our viewers, Amy, just said, well, the problem is that you guys hit start and y'all immediately jump into a story. And it takes us a second for YouTube to like get us on here and everything. And y'all are already in the middle of a story. And that is true. I will say a lot of times people are like, oh, right, as you're jumping on this morning, tell us where you're watching from. Be sure and say hi. And then they do a billion different things and they take minutes at a time. Like, and we don't. We're like, good morning, everybody. So anyway, this thing fell out from under the car. Tell them about it.
I also sort of think about the replayers. We have more replayers watch us on YouTube and probably Facebook as well that watch us later in the morning, the afternoon, evening, a couple of days later. And so for them, I hate for them to have to sit there through the first 5 minutes.
How do you make everybody happy? You don't. That's the end of my song.
Boom, boom.
You guys, I hope.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to put it back in the app. Put it back in the app. Then it starts when it starts.
Don't get them started on it. I hope that y'all saw I'm sorry, I just thought of something funny. I hope that y'all saw my Facebook post yesterday. So here's what I have started doing. And I shared it on Insta stories as well. Here's what I have started doing. I make my miracle drink every day. I make it every single day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prop up a camera while I make it every day, put my collagen in, my earth and ocean, all that. And I'm going to just talk about whatever is going on in my life at the time. And I'm going to post it every day. Yesterday, it was called Miracle Drink Story Time. David and Melissa go to the Chinese buffet with Annette and Melba. Okay? We go to the Chinese buffet yesterday. And I'll tell this story as I'm making my drink. Did anybody see it? Okay? Don't support a move back to the app. Why do you even bring up stuff like that? It's never going to happen. We're never going to do that.
Cheryl even said
I
that.
don't even know why he said that. It's hear ye, hear ye. The 11th law that Jesus wrote on the stone tablets was don't move back to the app. Okay? We got our reasons. We got our reasons for that.
I don't know why this just popped in my head.
David, I hate it when you stir the pot. We have our reasons.
Have you seen, I don't even know what movie this is from. It's a movie where Mel Brooks is playing Moses.
I've never seen one Mel Brooks movie in my life.
And he's playing Moses and he comes down and he has 3 giant tablets in his arms. And he goes, God gave me these 15 one broke, these 10 rules to live by.
I've never seen one.
I've just seen that clip and I just think I don't know, it may be a little sacrilegious, but I think it's funny.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Anyway, we took them and this is what happened. We bring up the name of a man who used to go to our church a million years ago. And I said, hey, me and my girlfriends were trying to discuss if we ever, like, is this a person that used to go to our church or did one of us dream this up? And then I said his name and he has a very weird name. I'll say his name was something like, I'm literally making up a name, Lamoris. It was a weird name. And so I was like, do y'all remember a guy named Lamoris? And my Aunt Melba and my mom, they go like this. Do we ever? Yes, we remember Lamoris. That's not his name. Yes, we remember Lamoris. Oh my goodness, Melissa, that is such a blast from the past. Melba, do you remember Lamoris Smith? Annette, I haven't thought of Lamoris Smith in 100 years. Melissa, what made you think of him? And I said, me and the Golden Girls were talking about him the other day. Somebody brought him up. I have no clue who this guy is. And my mom tells this story. This is what she said. Melissa and David, let me tell y'all this. One time back in the day, Jean and I were leading the largest Sunday school class in the church. It was the adult Sunday school class.
We had 11.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Good Lord.
What do you call it? I was going to say my shoestring. Yo, it is a shoestring.
And she said, and Lamoris raised his hand during prayer request time. And he raised his hand. And here's what he said. I have a prayer need. I need y'all to pray for me because my son has this is exactly how my mother said it. Because my son has absolutely no redeeming qualities. None.
Did anybody say he's just like his daddy?
Now, Melissa, how am I supposed to pray for that? What am I supposed to say to God? And then Melba went like this. Church people can be so weird. But that was our lunch. And I know David wasn't excited yesterday when he jumped into the car and I said, hey, we're meeting them at the Chinese buffet. And he goes, oh, your mom and dad? And I was like, no, my mom and Melba. And he's like, oh gosh. He's like, it's just me and the ladies. It's weird. I said, just come on. It's fun. And that's why I love to do it, because there is always a piece of gold hidden way down deep. If you'll go to lunch with these ladies, they're always bringing up stuff like this, David.
They're crazy. They're cuckoo for cocoa.
Last night, no, they're not.
They are funny stories, though.
Last night, I went and spoke at it was National Infant and like Stillborn and Infant Loss Day. And they had the sweetest little service at the funeral home last night. And they asked me to speak, only about 10 minutes, to get up and share. And it was so precious. And there was a really good turnout for it. And they had little candles. And then you would go up and the first person would go up and light a candle. And then everybody would light the candle off of theirs in remembrance of someone that you lost. And the nurse and the funeral home had provided the little candle holders that said, I remember you, little wood candle holders. And everybody got to take those home. And it was just really, really sweet. I was so glad to have done it. Something funny did happen during the service. I can't talk about it because someone on here might have been there, and probably no one even would have noticed except for me. I noticed something funny that happened and it got me very tickled. So David goes, when I got home and told him, he goes, well, what did you do? And I said, well, I just had to sit there like I was worshiping like this. But I saw it happen in the room and it got me very, very tickled. But that's just me. Whenever something serious like that happens in any kind of sacred moment, I'm going to get tickled. I'm going to get tickled.
At least 2 funeral services I can think of, she's had to remove herself because it's to be honest, it is not disrespect. I mean, yes, it could come across disrespectful. Yeah. Her intention is not just being funny or disrespectful. It's literally like an emotional safety valve or something, like trying to protect yourself from the sadness. And just like even small ridiculous things will get her tickled again because it's because she's in this emotional state.
But it could even be for someone that I don't know. One of my best friends and I we drove out of town once and went to a viewing of a dear friend of a mutual friend, a dear, dear friend of ours. His father had died, and we drove out of town to the viewing, and we walked in the back. And this is where an Enneagram 7 lives. An Enneagram 7 lives in the space between this is a feeling that I need to feel right now, and I'm going to run so far from this feeling as fast as I possibly can so I don't have to feel it. This is where we live as an Enneagram 7. And those back doors of that chapel swung open and everybody was sitting and just kind of, some were viewing the casket. And it was just the viewing time. It wasn't the funeral, just the viewing time. And I walked in that back door with her and I got so tickled and I could not stop laughing. She turned around and said to me, stop it. Stop it. Why? Because she's an Enneagram 1 and they are the worst. Okay. She said, stop it. We got up to that casket and I knew I was going to have to look at him. And I knew that his death made my dear friend so sad. I started tooting. And when I tell y'all every
not
time.
Like, not
when I tell y'all that every time I laughed, a toot came out. I walked, she had me by the hand, pulling me past the casket. And I walked past the casket like this. Toot, 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 toot. The entire time. Because I was laughing so hard. I don't know where the gas came from. That's been something we've studied for many years now. But
they call that LMPO. Instead of LMAO, they call it LMPO. Laughing my boots out.
David, can I tell you how much I hate that word? Call it toots. I just tooted.
LMTO, laughing my toots out.
My dad, y'all, that is a funny thing, isn't it? What did y'all's parent call gas when you were growing up? Mine, David, what did they call it? Actually, in his house, they probably didn't even reference it.
We never passed gas in my house. No, we really didn't. I mean,
you're joking.
We would step to the restroom if we had to.
Okay, stop. David Vaughn, your mom and dad raised 2 boys. You're telling me y'all never passed gas anywhere in y'all never ripped one when y'all were watching Chuck Norris on TV? I
was never a big Chuck Norris fan, although my mama loves her some Texas, what is it? Texas Ranger. What was that with Chuck? Walker, Texas Ranger. My mama may tell me different, but I don't remember even as a young kid just be like, I'm definitely not like that in adulthood at all. Yeah, so I don't feel like there was a lot. I think if there were, it was like the accidental, picking something up and like,
Okay. Maria says it was literally a rule in my house, no tooting around us girls. My daughter-in-law, Elaine, says my daughter-in-law and son say Goya. I need to know what that means. Can you put that in the comments?
I've heard a new word for this. Amy's mom called it putters.
Putters. Okay.
That's kind of a more sophisticated way to.
Well, obviously my mom and dad just raised one girl and I wasn't breaking them off or anything, but my dad always did. And he called them poots. And I hated that. He'd be like, Melissa, did you just poot? Even though clearly he did it. Melissa, pull my finger. I promise I'm not going to poot. And I hated that.
This is a weird discussion.
I know. Joanna said, we call it barking spiders.
Barking spiders.
Okay, that is weird. This whole conversation is weird. But at least in our house now, I'll say, did I just hear a bullfrog? And my kids will be like, no, like I just ripped one.
This topic right here is exactly why we don't have tens of thousands of viewers.
That's why we're not running 3,000 right here. All right. Today is the day that we tell y'all what we're reading, watching, all the things. Now, Miss Pat Martin sent me last week a subscription, I think it was, to a podcast that she has been listening to that she swears I need to listen to. So I'm going to give it a go. Okay. But I have not listened to it yet, but I will. I'm going to give it a go. But I don't have any podcasts to talk about. Mainly because I think it's fair that y'all know I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, mainly because everywhere in Lufkin that you have to drive is like 7 minutes. You're not in your car very long in our town. Okay. Everywhere's like quick.
But I think you just hit on something. You've been talking about starting a podcast back up. You need to make podcasts that are 7 minutes long.
Oh my gosh. People would love that. At the most, like 13 minutes.
So if they're in a small town.
Yeah.
Or if they just are stuck in a line somewhere or something like that it's just a
quick bark. And we'll call it barking spiders. Barking spiders.
No, that's not a good name.
Because it just happens that quick. Did Elaine ever say what Goya means?
Goya.
Oh, Elaine just said it was just a word that sounded better than the other words, but everyone knew what it meant.
I thought Goya is like a really good brand of like
beans,
Mexican
like beans,
like
beans, like Goya beans. I just got it. Okay,
Goya. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm slow to the party. Yeah, I just got that.
Okay, let's move on to books because I made a TikTok last night and I need to go back and withdraw it. Here's what happened. I finished Kill for Me, Kill for You. It was a roller coaster ride. Just when you think it's almost over, it's all wrapping up. Oh, wait, there's one more thing. Good Lord. That one was a twisty turny. And I will say I did not see them coming. That was a great thriller. If you like thriller books, Kill for Me, Kill for You is a great thriller. I immediately left there, and this is not like me at all. I immediately finished reading that book and then chose another book that I don't really care for the author and knew absolutely nothing about. I don't even know why I did it. It was right there on Kindle Unlimited, and I said, sure. I didn't even read about it first. And I'm not wild about Kristen Hanna. I say that. I love The Great Alone, but The Nightingale made me want to run in the street naked. Ugh.
No, it sounds
Anyway,
like a book
and
I like.
I picked up
That's
Night Road.
That's a book I would like to read.
I picked up Night Road, which came out in 2011. It came out a long time ago. Well, it does this weird thing on Kindle Unlimited. When you get to the end of the book, it'll be like the end, and it'll have the acknowledgments. So you think it's over. But then at the end of the you talk about ending abruptly. At the end of the acknowledgments, if you go scroll through the acknowledgments, which who does that? If you scroll through the acknowledgments, part 2 starts. Well, when I saw the acknowledgments, I just thought it was done. But apparently she literally wrote the first half of that book and then like a couple of years later wrote the second half. And that's how they put it together. And I got on TikTok and I'm like, where can I find the second book? And people were like, keep scrolling, woman. So I'm so happy I'm reading part 2 of Night Road. It's really, really good. It's a tearjerker of the biggest kind. Has anybody read Kristen Hanna's Night Road? You might have read it and thought, this ended so abruptly. Well, guess what? There's more. There's more.
And this is like day and night, not like King Arthur's night.
This is like Night Road, not Night Road. Okay. It is so good. You guys check it out. I know some of y'all are like, I love Kristen Hanna. She writes about war too much. I don't like war stuff. Don't give me anything that's going to be during a war. I don't like it. I don't even like war movies. Okay. But there is something that David and I recently, what are you doing? There is a show that David and I recently watched and we loved it. We loved it. And I want him to tell you guys about it. Let me know what your favorite Kristen Hanna book is right now in the comments.
I was trying to see this because I think this just came back out.
Like 3 books out of hundreds. I don't like war books either, Brenda.
So today is the 16th. Tomorrow, mark it on your calendars. Tomorrow, The Lincoln Lawyer season 3 comes out. Now, Melissa has missed out on the first 2 seasons. I'm telling you, she would like it. She'd probably really like the lead guy. But it's a great series, and season 3 comes out tomorrow.
David,
So Lincoln Lawyer.
is it one is it a new case every single show, or is it they're working on one case throughout the whole season?
If I remember, y'all help me if you've seen it. If I remember, there is one case that like reoccurs throughout the season, or one like storyline, but then in each episode there's like little stories. Is that not correct?
Terry says
I believe
one case.
Is it just one? I was thinking there was one case, but then there'd be like little storylines on each episode. I might be wrong. It might be just one thing, but either way, I know it's good.
Okay. Someone said Abbott Elementary started back. Abbott Elementary. What an easy watch. That show is such an easy watch.
We got to get back.
Why do we not watch it?
Did we finish the first season?
I think we finished the first season.
And we really liked it.
We liked it so much. People are saying they love Matlock. We absolutely love Matlock.
And Matlock, they've had the premiere episode that's been out a couple of weeks, but I think the series starts in earnest tomorrow as well. I think
on a Friday? Oh no, tomorrow's a Thursday.
I think it starts here soon. So.
Okay. I want to watch Abbott Elementary. I don't know why I don't. It's gotten lost in the shuffle for me. I will tell you guys this. There is a new one that just came out 2 days ago, I think. No, I think it came out last Friday on Apple TV with Kate Blanchett called Disclaimer. Has anybody watched it? In the comments, give me a yes or a no if you have watched it.
Disclaimer.
Okay? No, that's not disclaimer. Disclaimer, yes or no, if you have watched it. Because if you have, okay, hold on. My girl has already got the link for Night Road. She got it up. Those of you who, no, crap. Everybody is saying no, they haven't watched it. I was hoping somebody would say yes, and then they could explain it to me. Because we have watched the first episode, and when I tell you it was hard to follow, I mean, it was so hard to follow.
Mary Lopez has watched it. She says yes.
Of course she has. Mary, if you could write me addendum or a referendum or Cliff Notes
we've only
version.
watched the first episode.
It was hard to follow.
But I thought I explained it to you, and you caught up, right?
Okay, I don't like it when you do that.
But you do that all the time. You pause shows and go, "Can you tell me what's going on?"
I thought it was hard to follow, but I'm into it. I'm interested in it. Okay, my girl has got the link. Do you want the link to Night Road? Just know she gonna put it up. Just know she gonna put it up. Okay, she can put it on here. Can't you put it on here, Kel? It's a good one, you guys, and just go past the acknowledgments, and then you'll start chapter 2. It is so good. Or part 2. I'm just now starting part 2, and I'm so excited about it. You have to watch through the second episode, and then you will get it. Okay, I'll try. Here's one that I will tell you David and I loved. It has been out for like a month on Netflix. And so many reviewers were talking about how good it was. And for whatever reason, David and I just really never had the time to sit down and watch a movie. It's not a series, it's a movie. How many of you in here liked Rebel Ridge? Have y'all seen that one? Oh, it was so
Come
great.
on now. Rebel
Ridge
Ridge on Netflix with
I don't know his name.
there's the new
Lamorris. He went to my mother's church.
There's a new actor, and he's up and coming because we looked at his like IMDb, and he's coming up in a couple of things. So he's about to take off.
Yeah.
But he was really good. But then there's others you recognize like Don Johnson, and then who was the one guy?
Kelly put Night Road up. You guys go click on Night Road. Lynn, you love Chris and Hannah. Go click on Night Road right now because Kelly just put it up.
I'll grab it because I don't think they can
What?
click on it unless I do it.
They can't click on it unless David does it. Okay, Rebel Ridge is so good. So it's this young black guy. He's pulled over by the police in a small town. And I want to say they're horrifically racist.
You want to say that? Well, I think they're just
bad.
They're bad to
Period.
everybody.
They're just bad to everybody. But, okay. So he does what, whenever I see people pulled over by the police in shows, television shows, whether they're black or white or whatever, they're always so disrespectful to the police. And I will be like, this is one of the reasons why you're escalating. Why doesn't anybody ever keep their cool? This guy keeps his cool. He speaks respectfully. He does everything he should have done, and it just escalates. It just escalates in a bad way. The review I read about Rebel Ridge sorry, I've been looking at the wrong camera, specifically said that this guy was going to be a movie star. They're like, he's young, he's from England. Keep watch out for him. He's going to be a movie star. And they are not wrong. He is a very handsome guy, black guy. It reminded us of a Jack Reacher movie. If you liked Jack Reacher, this reminded us very much of a Jack Reacher movie. He should be friends with Jack Reacher, although I would say he's got more personality than Jack does. But if you like that kind, it's good. And Don Johnson is great in it.
And I would say I wish it would have had a touch more violence, if that's the way you put it. Like there definitely were those. But if you like Jack Reacher, like every 10 minutes, you're going to get another action sequence.
Right.
But some of the reviewers I read actually like that. Like they said, you're expecting it, but this movie, I don't know if they use the word more intelligent than that or whatever.
Right.
But they put the action in where it made sense. And the comment that I read was, this is one of the downside of streamers because this should have been a major motion picture release in theaters, and it was very, very good.
So check out Rebel Ridge, and it was very clean. You can watch it with your kids. There's a couple of words in it, but not much. Honestly, not much. Very clean movie.
The rest of it's just silent. It's just all.
Mary Lopez says that she just watched Tuesday. That came out in HBO Max, starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I watched the trailer for it, and I was intrigued. She said it was very different, but it makes you think, and I'm not up for that. I'm not up for anything that's going to make me think. You lost me there. No, I'm just kidding. I love her. I think she's such a great actress. So I'm really interested to see it. Plus, sometimes you find your television show / movie partner, and Mary Lopez seems to be mine. Her and I tend to agree on the same kind of stuff. Watch her watch Rebel Ridge and be like, this is so stupid. But so I will go and I will watch Tuesday this weekend. And then let me see. Shrinking on Apple TV. Is it back yet? I don't think it's back. When does it come out? I'm gonna be there for it. I'm gonna be there. That was one of my favorite television shows of last year. One of my absolute. It makes your heart happy. I absolutely loved Shrinking.
Today. October the 16th. Today.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Look, Honey Hale. You know what? Honey Hale watched Rebel Ridge. She said she liked the guy. She didn't like the movie. You know what, honey? You also paid to see Elvis 11 times with Austin Butler. So,
and was she one of the ones that liked Run, Rose, Run?
You picked out Run, Rose, Run. Well, you know what? Run, honey, run.
She is the anti-Mary Lopez.
Okay. Anyway, I'm really excited about Melanie says it's back, and I'm very excited about that. And that's all we have for you today.
Well, we got one more big thing for you today. What you're watching, what you're loving. If you were part of one of Melissa's Page Turner webinars last week, we know you loved it. If you were part of it. If you registered but didn't get to attend last week, then you've got a link for a replay, or even a better option is there is an encore live Page Turner webinar tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time.
I'm very proud of it, you guys. You guys come. I'm really proud of how it's turned out.
And I don't know, I use the word encore and live together because I don't want you to think that it's just like a recording of it we're going to show again. No, Melissa's doing another live Page Turner webinar tonight. So if you got to watch it and you want to see it again, if you didn't get to watch it and you want to watch it live and you want to get to ask your questions at the end and all that kind of good stuff, I just put a post in the comments as well as it's up above. Be sure that you have to register. But then tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time, Page Turner, the encore live Page Turner webinar.
I'll be on there live to talk to you, to answer your questions, and to teach you 3 action steps you can begin taking today in order to turn things around for you. I'm really proud of how this turned out, so I hope that you'll be there. If you weren't able to be there before, make it a point to join us live tonight at 6 o'clock, and tell them how, David, how they sign up for that.
There is a link in the copy, as well as I just put one in the comments. All you got to do is go to the link there and just put in your name and email, and you'll be good to go. You'll get an email confirmation and a time and a link and all that kind of good stuff.
All right. Hey, we love you guys. I have 2 things I know for sure to show you tomorrow that I absolutely love. Can't wait to show them to you. And I'll see you here tomorrow. So will Dave. Bye, guys.
See ya. Bye.